Je passe la parole au représentant de la République fédérale d'Allemagne.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to thank you for having convened this important debate and for your personal presence today. Germany attaches great importance to the fight against organized crime, and we highly appreciate the efforts of the delegation of Togo in this regard. We'd also like to thank the Secretary General for his remarks and Mr. Fedotov for his briefing at the outset. Mr. President, we all have been observing the impact of transnational organized crime on peace and security in West Africa and the Sahel region with growing concern. The spread of transnational organized crime, including illicit trafficking of drugs, arms, and human beings, as well as the more recent phenomenon of acts of piracy in the Gulf of Guinea, and insecurity go hand in hand. They are facilitated by weak governance, insufficient implementation of the rule of law, and corruption. Countries in conflict and post-conflict situations are especially vulnerable to organized criminal activities, which in turn further undermine the already weak institutions of these states. In recent years, links between organized crime and terrorist groups, albeit in a mere partnership of convenience, have become of particular concern. Most of the states in West Africa and the Sahel lack the capacity and equipment to address criminal and terrorist activities effectively. At the same time, transnational organized crime is a security threat that, by definition, cannot be tackled by any one country alone. A comprehensive, integrated approach is required to address transnational organized crime. Cooperation and coordination between the affected countries, as well as with and between the regional organizations, must be strengthened. Information sharing, in particular, needs to be improved. To this end, Mr. President, several instruments and initiatives have been developed, yet their effective implementation requires enhanced national and regional capacities, a strong political will, and sufficient financial support. Let me highlight the following examples. On a global level, the UN Convention on Transnational Organized Crime, the so-called Palermo Convention, including its protocol to prevent, suppress, and punish trafficking in persons, especially women and children, is of particular importance. We welcome the recently developed UNODC framework for action, providing guidance on how to implement the protocol against the smuggling of migrants, and we encourage all state parties to make use of this helpful instrument. The Palermo Convention, as other UN conventions focusing on organized crime and illegal drugs, provides important legal tools to counter these scourges of humanity. On a regional level, the ECOWAS Regional Action Plan 2008 and 2011 represents a promising framework to combat illegal drug trafficking and organized crime in West Africa. It should be extended into 2012 and beyond, and the implementation should be accelerated. UNODC, UNOWA, and Interpol have played a crucial role in assisting the ECOWAS plan through the West Africa Coast Initiative. Its focal points for cooperation, the so-called transnational crime units, could serve as an example for other regions. The Judicial Regional Platform of Sahel Countries, which was established in 2010, aims at institutionalizing the judicial cooperation in preventing and combating organized crime, corruption, drug trafficking, and terrorism. We encourage other states in the region to join this platform. Mr. President, an effective regional and international cooperation in the fight against transnational organized crime heavily relies on the stability and capacities of the individual partners. Therefore, national capacities need to be strengthened, root causes in countries susceptible to organized crime to be addressed. This includes the promotion of the rule of law and of good governance and promoting socio-economic developments. Germany has been working together with countries in West Africa and the Sahel region, as well as with regional organizations and the concerned UN agencies in fighting transnational organized crime, including through addressing its root causes. In this regard, I would like to mention our support for the Global Container Program aimed at ensuring effective controlling of container cargo in several West African countries in order to suppress and prevent drug trafficking from Latin America via West Africa to Europe. Furthermore, we support capacity building projects aimed at enhancing the rule of law and the justice systems in Côte d'Ivoire, Guinea, Liberia, Niger, and Sierra Leone. We also support activities conducted by ECOWAS and states in the region to enhance police capacities in post-conflict situations. Germany also cooperates with Côte d'Ivoire in the control of small arms and light weapons by supporting the relevant authorities, by training and capacity building, and by developing arms collection mechanisms at the community level. We contribute to the EU Sahel strategy, which addresses both development and security issues and aims at strengthening regional cooperation. With a view to dealing with the long-term socioeconomic root causes of transnational crime, we recall that just a week ago, agreements establishing the West African Science Service Center on Climate Change and Adapted Land Use have been signed in Lomé. This forward-looking initiative is designed to respond to climate change and to preserve sustainable livelihoods in the region. Climate change certainly constitutes one of the root causes of the current food crisis in the Sahel. Mr. President, Germany has recently allocated 12 million euro in additional funds for food aid in the region, and the EU is increasing its food aid from 95 million euro to 124 million euro, and we hope that concerted efforts will help to overcome this humanitarian crisis. Mr. President, let me conclude by pointing out that my delegation associates and aligns itself with the EU statement to be delivered later on. I thank you, Mr. President.
Merci au représentant de la République fédérale d'Allemagne.